Right, so it's Mr. Dosser here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about why I hate petrol stations, or what you might call gas stations. Before we get into it, could you please like, subscribe, comment, share the video? I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can do that. Anyway, why do I hate gas stations or petrol stations? Well, it comes to a number of things. Let's start it off. Number one, it's the fact you have to go in the first place. I don't like filling up with petrol or diesel, let's be honest. As you put the pump in and you hold it down, you see the numbers that go up and up and up, and it just hurts your wallet. You just go another pound, more pounds, 10, 20, 30, 40. Before you know it, you spend 60, 70 pounds on fuel, and it's not nice. And then you have to drive off with your wallet empty, and then as soon as you leave, you know you're going to be back there within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not a nice feeling, if I'm honest. But that's just part and parcel of owning a car, I guess. So that's not really, it is a gripe for me. Other people, I guess, it's just a part of life. Anyway, next one, number two, we have got people that go to do their weekly shopping at the local gas station. You know who you are. You know who you are, and you know exactly what I mean. Picture this. You go to fill up with petrol or diesel, whatever fuel of your choice. You then go in. Okay, I understand. You might want to grab yourself, if it's late at night, early in the morning, a cup of coffee or tea, and that's it. You know, maybe a little chocolate bar packet of crisps. In and out within 2 or 3 minutes. No, some people, I'm pretty sure they go in with a shopping list. They go in, they get about 10 different things, and they come out 10 minutes later, and you think to yourself, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You do realise, mate, there's a supermarket just around the corner. You could go there, and number one, you save time, B, you wouldn't waste my time, and C, you can get it for much cheaper. So why are you spending your money here? But anyway, I think they must get distracted. They must look at it and think, oh, I went there to get one thing and not getting 10 things. But anyway, that is probably one of the worst on the list, I think, for me anyway, is people that do that, because I'm just sat there waiting. Number three on the list, we've got people that don't park properly when using the petrol pumps. So they don't know which one they want to use, the left or the right one. Instead of committing to one, they sort of just plant themselves in the middle. And you think, and if you're behind them, you're like, mate, where do you want to go, the left or right? Because I guarantee if you go left, you go around them, they'll beep at you saying, oh, I was going to go there. If you go right, again, they're going to beep at you. You can't win either way, so you've got to stay behind them. But again, that just leads to queues. Just stay on one side, mate. Stay on the left or right. And that leads me on to my next point, which is people that do not use the extra long hoses. So if your fuel filler cap is on the left-hand side, they won't use a pump that's on the right-hand side, even if it's an extra long hose, because they're worried about it. I don't know, it's either they're worried about it scratching the paint, which I can sort of understand, or they just can't be able to pull it a bit further. Now, I understand if they have a very, very nice car with immaculate paint, I get it. But if they've got a clapped out banger like I do, I don't. Which some people do still have, believe it or not. Not everyone drives around in a nice, shiny, new car. And, I don't understand why they can't use that pipe. I don't understand why they can't use that extra long hose. But anyway, that is an annoying thing, because what happens, you get a row of people that have their fuel filler cap on the right-hand side, and they only use a right-hand pump. So let's say you've got 4 cars queued up for that, where there might be a pump to the left of that with only one car, and you think to yourself, well, 2 of those cars in the queue on the right can go to the left one, and that will ease the queue. Now make it easier for people to actually enter the gas station or petrol station and then actually fill up. But no, people won't do that. Next up on the list, we've got one that's actually not the fault of people, but it's actually fault of the gas station or petrol station, and that is the card readers. Now, I remember I used to have an old bank card. I say old bank card, at the time it wasn't old, but anyway, I had a bank card at the time, and it wouldn't work. It just didn't work with the card reader, the pay at pump, so that's what they call it, pay at pump. Didn't work. Every time I put the card in, it would not work. And it was really infuriating, and it was frustrating, because you go up, you put it in, doesn't work, and you think, well, now I have to reverse and go to the other pump, which isn't pay at pump. And sometimes what you find now, especially in the UK, a lot of these places, such as Asda, Tesco, there's probably other ones out there, I think Sainsbury's as well, they have pay at pumps only. So they don't actually have a cash point or kiosk where you can actually go in. You have to pay at the pump using a card. And if your card doesn't work, you're sort of screwed. You have to go somewhere else. And it's slightly embarrassing. I mean, I don't really care, but for some people it can be slightly embarrassing. Anyway, next up on the list, we have got people that can't fill up properly. So picture this, you undo your fuel filler cap, you put it to the side or hook it on, whatever you do, you fill up. You get the 2 clicks or click, you fill up, your tank's full. They won't put the pump back properly. So they don't tap the pump against the edge of the tank, the fuel filler bit, you know what I mean, the little metal bit. They'll just take it straight out and you get dripping petrol either on their car or on the ground. I mean, come on, just tap it a couple of times and then put it back onto the holder. But no, they won't do that. I mean, it's a minor gripe, but again, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things, just don't do it, I guess. And then you've got the people, going back to the parking properly, people that park too wide. So they park about 3 yards from the actual petrol pump, because some of these petrol stations, the pumps aren't very, the gap between each pump isn't very wide. You can just about fit 2 cars, and some cars are quite wide, like SUVs. However, if they're parking their SUV about 1 meter away, 2 meters away from the actual curb, from where the actual petrol pump is, I mean, you can't fit your car then alongside. Just come on, just move your car further in, please. It really is infuriating, because it means that you're wasting a pump. You're wasting, someone can't get through. And that's another thing, actually, is people that don't move forward. So if you, let's say you've got 6 pumps, but they're in sets of 2. So you've got 3, you've got 2, let's say 3 sets of 2. Now, they won't move to the pump ahead. They'll stay to the one behind. You think to yourself, just move along, just put into first gear for your automatic, just let it roll forward, move to the pump ahead. They won't do that, and you think to yourself, well, now I have to go around. Or sometimes you can't go around because the person opposite actually did the decent thing and moved to pump 1. They moved to the pump ahead. However, you can't get past now because they're diagonally parked, so you can't actually get around. So you're sort of stuck. So what can you do? Well, you have to wait. So that's pretty much my list, I think. I can't think of anything else, any gripes I had. The only reason I'm saying this is because I went to fill up today and I just noticed these things. I mean, queues are inevitable. It's a part of filling up with petrol or diesel. You have to queue up. If you're lucky, you can go straight in and out. But yeah, it's one of those things where you think to yourself, I would rather just it be a quick in and out process. I don't want to hang about. I don't know why people hang about so much. And that brings me on, actually, there's another gripe. I just remembered, there's one more. People that fill up at service stations, what they're called, at the services. So here in the UK, we've got something called the services, and they're pretty much based off of motorways or A roads, and there's some dotted around along the M1, the M6, M25, etc., all the major motorways, or highways as you call them in the US. Now, the issue is that their petrol, their diesel is extortionate. It's ridiculous. And it still boggles my mind when you see people filling up at them. It's like, it's a bit like, in a lot of modern cars, how much fuel you have. They're pretty accurate. Most modern cars, or at least most cars made in the last 10-15 years, will tell you how many miles you've got left range-wise, and they'll tell you, even some will tell you your miles per gallon. And you have a fuel gauge. If you're in the final 1/8 of that fuel gauge, you should fill up. So I don't understand how you get to a point where you need to fill up at somewhere like the services. Unless you drive a V12 Lambo that has a thimble for fuel tank. If you've got a run-of-the-mill hatchback or saloon car, which can easily do 300, 400, even 500 miles to the tank, you have no excuse. Just fill up at a normal petrol station, gas station. Don't fill up the services, because guess what? They charge 10 to 15 pence per litre more, and you end up spending more money. And you probably end up spending more money inside as well too. As the type of people to do that will probably end up spending more money on their fuel, and then they'll end up buying stuff they don't actually want inside when they go to pay for their fuel. And then they'll come out, and then they won't learn from their lesson, and they'll do it again. They're probably, I don't know, I'm making assumptions here. Again, I might be wrong. But from my experience, people that I know have done that, that tends to be the case. But anyway, let me know what you think of the video, and let me know what you want to see next. And please like, subscribe, comment, share the video. Let's hit 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you next time.